Panama and in the United States. So we do have a couple of people that are going to be joining throughout the meeting. If you have any questions, please make sure you do ask them. I have the rest of the team here that will be checking out your questions and making sure that we answer them on time. Please feel free to interrupt me whenever you want. This is a conversation, and all questions are really important. So if you can always unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can use the chat room and ask the questions, and you will have one of our team members making sure we do answer all of your questions. I want to say thank you to our team that is here. We have Katicha Ramos, who is our undergraduate program director. We have Nicolas Rodriguez, who is our admissions director for the undergraduate program. We have Jan Prado, Hector Becerra, we have Cristian Conte, and we have Karina Ku as well. And I know that you know a lot of them already, and I'm trying to see if we have Elizabeth here too. I think we lost Elizabeth, right?
Yeah,
did we? Okay, so I'm pretty sure she'll be joining us soon. So like Jan said, my name is Maria Alejandra Quintero. I'm the academic dean for Quality Leadership University. I've been with the university for 18 years, and my first baby was the undergraduate program. So I'm really excited about talking to you about the program and all the options that we have now. But first, I think it is really important for us to kind of explain what QLU is. We know it's kind of confusing seeing a university with a bunch of other universities together. And it all started about 22 years ago when the president of the university decided that he wanted to create a university in Panama with the highest academic level. Soon he realized it was going to be a little bit difficult to do it because back then we did not have enough professors with PhD degrees, which is a doctorate degree. And we wanted to start offering master's programs. So what he did was to go back to his alma mater, which is University of Louisville. He graduated both undergraduate and graduate program from there. And he talked to them, and they came up with the idea of offering programs in Panama as dual degrees. So dual degrees means that you will receive, if you graduate in Panama, 2 diplomas. One from the local university, which is QLU, and another one from the partnered university. So that's how we started. And first, for a long time, we were only offering programs from University of Louisville, which is why a lot of you know us as University of Louisville, and that's okay. We like that. But as the time started to go by, a lot of other universities started approaching us and saying, we also want to have programs in Panama, because the Panamanian law wouldn't allow a university from an international university to start offering programs in Panama on its own. So we decided to create partnerships with different types of university just to make sure that we were offering our students as many options as it was possible. So we first started, like I said, with the University of Louisville, and we were offering a business degree and several master's programs. And after that, we were in partnership with Florida International University and Towson University. Today, we have agreements for undergraduate programs with Illinois State University. And just this year, like your generation is going to be the first one to be able to enjoy this partnership. We completed the agreement with University of South Florida for you guys to have the option to do 2 years in Panama and then 2 years in Tampa. We also offer master's programs. And besides from the universities that I just mentioned, we have a program with Universidad de Chile. We actually have 3 different master's programs with them. And then Universidad Politécnica de Madrid, which we have an agreement with the architecture department. So a lot of universities in one place, and the idea, again, is for you to have options, and that's what we can offer. Options. You don't have to make your mind right now, but you will always have the opportunity to either stay in Panama or go to the States and finishing in any of our partners' universities. So, accreditations. Accreditations is it's a concept that not necessarily everybody's familiar with. A lot of people are concentrating on rankings and stuff like that, which are important, but I think the most important thing in a university that you should ever look for is the accreditation. The accreditation is kind of like the quality seal that will allow you to know that your degree is accepted everywhere. So University of Louisville and Illinois State University, which are the programs we have, the universities, I'm sorry, that we have programs here in Panama, are both accredited university, regionally accredited and also program accredited. So when you are studying, if you want to study a business degree, the accreditation that you want to get is the AACSB accreditation, which is the little blue circle that we have under both universities. There's only about 300 universities in the world that have the AACSB accreditation, and we are the only university in Panama that offers degrees accredited by AACSB. And we do it both undergrad and graduate degrees. So that's an advantage that you're gonna get, because that means that your transcripts and your courses that you take, you can transfer them anywhere you want. We also have the ABET accreditation, which is the engineering accreditation, and we also have the regionals, the SACs, and the Higher Learning Commission. And locally, QLU is accredited by CONIAUPA, which is the mandatory accreditations that all Panamanian universities have to have. So please let me know if you have any questions, especially like if you want to know about a particular program, etc. Okay. So what are our options? You can stay in Panama or you can go to the States. If you stay in Panama, you're going to be able to obtain a degree in business administration with an emphasis in international business. A Bachelor of Science in International Business, because you can do it in Spanish or in English, and you can do a Bachelor of Arts in Communication, and you also have 2 options of minors. You have, and I'm sorry because it's in Spanglish right now, our presentation, but you have programs that are 2+2, which I'm going to explain what it is, and 3+1, and you can do a semester in the US. There are exchange programs, and there are over 100 undergraduate programs that you can get. So how many of you know what a 2+2 means? Because I know this is a terminology that we have been using for a long time, but how many of you, I would like to know, let me just make sure I go to the chat room. How many of you know what is a 2+2 program? Anyone? No? Okay. 2+2 means that you start and you do the first 2 years of a program in Panama, and then you move, and we want to say move because it's not really a transfer. A transfer implies that you have to apply for it. It's just moving from one campus to another. While you are in Panama, depending on what you want to study, you will be able to choose the courses that you're going to have in those first 2 years. So every single program in the United States, in the US system, has general education requirements, okay? So general education requirements are a number of courses, usually about 10 to 12 courses, that every single student, regardless of the program they're studying, will have to take. There are different categories, and then from those categories, you can choose what are going to be your options. For example, everybody has to take a natural science. I know. When I graduated, I also thought that I was done with the sciences. But you do have to take 2 courses in natural science. They're very basic courses, though. It's not like if you were going to engineering where you have to take physics. You can take biology, or you can take introduced chemistry. So basically, the requirement is to get natural science courses, and then you choose which natural science, which discipline you're more interested in. Same thing happens with social sciences, social behavior sciences, and then you have the math, which are mandatory for everything. So you get your general education requirements that every single program in the university shares. And then you get the pre-courses. Like if you want to be in business, then you'll have pre-business courses. What are pre-business courses? Things like accounting, economics, statistics, legal environment of business, those courses that will prepare you for the actual major. And then the other option that we have in Panama is to do the pre-engineering courses. And the pre-engineering courses are courses really, really fun, such as calculus and physics and the chemistry and all the fun things that engineers enjoy. So those courses you take in the first 2 years. So what we do is like a mix of general education requirements, pre-business and pre-engineering, or pre-engineering, depending on what you want. And then for those first 2 years, you still have time to decide what you want to study. Because like I said, let's say you want to study in business, but you're not sure yet if you want to study marketing or finance or international business or something like that. It's okay, because at the end of the day, you still have to do the general education requirements, which are mandatory for everyone. And you still have to do the pre-business. So you will be advancing in your career without actually choosing a major. So this is the part where I ask you, which major do you think is the most popular major at the University of Louisville? Like, which is the major that most students are registered for? Anyway, I promise that Dan will mail you like a t-shirt or something to whoever answers the question correctly. So let's just wait for someone to guess.
Don't be shy, guys. Hey.
On the phone. Yes, Andres, that's exactly right. It's actually called, I suddenly forgot. Katisha, help me. Undecided, thank you. You thought of it and it came to me. Undecided, undecided. Why? Because you get time to choose. And that's really important, especially when you are 18 or 19 years old and you don't really know what you want to be for the rest of your life. That way you can take some courses that would give you a little bit of light and see, okay, this is the program that I'm more interested in, or this is the area or the course that I enjoy the most. What can I do in this area? And then move on to the program. Very good, Andres. Okay, so you do the first 2 years. It is important to say that when you are admitted in Panama, you are admitted both in QLU and at the University of Louisville, which means that you are going to have a student ID, that you're going to have access to every single resource that University of Louisville, studying in Louisville, Kentucky, will have. It is so, it's so plain and simple that if you take the phone, call the University of Louisville and give them your student ID, they have no way of knowing that you're not in Kentucky right now. So you do the first 2 years in Panama, and then at the end of the second year, you get to decide. Are you gonna stay in Panama or are you gonna move to the States? If you decide to move to the States, okay, you will do this last 2 years in the United States, and you can choose from the 3 partners that we have. And choosing sometimes is really easy, but we have ways of helping you do that. Once a year, we have a trip that it's not mandatory, but it's highly recommended, especially if you want to transfer, to move to one of these universities. And what we do is we visit the 3 campuses. And the idea is for you to find what you want, because it's really our students, they all have different likes and preferences. So it really depends on what you want. You can go to Illinois State University, which is located 2 hours away from the city of Chicago. And Normal, which is the town where ISU is actually located, it's a very small town, but you get the advantage of being very, very close to one of the best cities in the US. And then you can go to University of Louisville, which is located in Louisville, Kentucky, and you can finish your degrees there, or you can go now to Tampa, which is closer to us, and complete the degree at the University of South Florida. Okay? You can also move to another university, and that, I think it's really important to mention that. If you choose one of our partners, there are financial incentives to do it, but if there's a lot of our students who decide to move to the States, but go to another university. For example, if you graduate in December, you've been already admitted to another university for the fall, which is usually when the school year starts, then you can start taking some courses with us in spring and summer and earn some credits that will help you towards your degree. The way we do that is that we make sure that we coordinate with the advisors at the university that eventually will give you the degree, and make sure that the courses that you're taking are courses that are transferable to those universities. In the majority of cases, they are. And we do make sure that you don't exceed the amount of credits that you can get without losing your admission. The other option for students is that if they want to apply to your university, but they don't want to do it with your high school transcripts, what you could do is take some courses with us, so you become a transfer student. That usually happens when you have about 8 courses with another university. And when that happens, you don't have to take the SAT in most of the universities. You most likely won't have to take the TOEFL, just the one that you take with us. And you won't, and the transcripts from your high school, so the grades that you earn in your high schools are not the ones that are gonna base the admission. They base the admissions on the grades that you make with us. So it doesn't really matter if you weren't like on the top of your class when you were in high school. If you apply yourself and you do well at the university, you can use that to be admitted to another university. So if you have any questions about that, please, please, please interrupt me. Okay. So we've talked about the 3 campuses, and I'm wondering if you would like to see the campuses. This is a video, and because this is our time and we're doing virtual meetings and we don't know about technology, we're all gonna cross our fingers and hope that this video will run from the beginning to end so we can see it. But if by any chance we lose connection, please don't go away, because we have plan B and plan C. Let's take a look.
Yes, it happens sometimes, like we told you.
course, Professor Alfie Trell from the University of Louisville was calling me in the middle of the video, so that happened. So hopefully he'll be joining soon. So you could see the beauty of the three campuses. In all honesty, it's a whole different world. Those are universities where they have an average about 25,000 students studying at the university, and there's a lot of students who live at the university. So the campus itself is a place that welcomes students, and when it's spring and the weather is amazing, you'll see, like, when you're walking, like, people talking and studying in the yard and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. Each university has a different thing to offer. And that's why we at QLU will advise you and will accompany you throughout the decision, making sure that you make the best decision for you. So it's not just about where I want to study, but it's also about, do you like the place where you want to study? Do you like the city? Does it have everything that I am expecting? So we definitely help you make that decision. And now we saw this, so we're gonna move on. Okay, definitely the best incentive to study with us and then move to the University of Louisville is the fact that you are granted in-state tuition. So for those who don't know what in-state tuition is, in the universities in the United States can be private universities or can be state universities. So all state universities have a different fee for students who live in the state, not in the country, the state where the university is located. So you have to live there and pay taxes. So if, let's say that you were born in New York, and you live in New York, and your parents live in New York and work there, and you want to go to the University of Louisville to complete your degree. So if you do that, you will be paying out-of-state tuition, which is the same tuition that an international student would pay if they decided to go to the United States. In our case, those students that started the program with the QAU program, so if they start studying in Panama and they do a minimum of 60 credits, which is give and take about, that would be about 20 courses, right? Is my math okay? Yeah, right, 20 courses. That means that you will be paying like if you were an in-state student. And it's really funny because the Mariana Leon, who is our provost, she was born at the university. She was born not at the university, but she was born in Louisville, Kentucky. So her passport and her ID says that she was born in the United States. She's Panamanian as well, and she has lived her life in Panama. So when it was time for her to move to Louisville to complete her degree, she had to go through our program in order to get the in-state tuition, even though she was born in Louisville. Why? Because she wasn't a Kentucky resident. She was a Panamanian resident. So the advantage it's big, because the tuition that a resident pays in Louisville, for example, you would pay about $5,000 for a semester. And someone can be sitting next to you taking the exact same courses that you are, and they will be paying about $14,000 for the same semester, or $10,000 for the same semester, because they're not from the state. So this is like a benefit that the residents of Kentucky get. And for the first time in a long time, our students are granted that benefit. And I think the best part of it is that it's not tied to a scholarship, which means that you cannot lose it. Once you obtain your 60 credits, once you obtain the 60 credits, you can move to Louisville and pay in-state tuition. It is as easy as that, and you can do that for as long as you want until you go to the graduation. So if you want to do a double major, or if you want to do a minor, you can do that, and that's and you will be paying in-state tuition until you go to the graduation. In-state tuition represents savings up to $130,000. So it's a lot of money that you are going to save by doing this. So you are, okay, so I think I have questions. Is the in-state tuition only for the University of Louisville or others too? Thank you for that question. That's a really good question. The in-state tuition as it is only for the University of Louisville. If you go to South Florida, that is tied to a scholarship. So if you have a very good GPA, you are able to obtain in-state tuition as well, but it is a scholarship. But yes, definitely you can obtain that as well. And with ISU, you have a special fee, but it's not as low as the in-state tuition that you get with ISU, with the University of Louisville. Okay. Thank you for that question. Okay, so what can you study? You can study over 100 bachelor's degree. You name it, we have it. So if you want to study engineering, we have all kinds of engineering. If you want to study business, we have a lot of programs in business, entrepreneurship, marketing, finance. If you want to study sciences, like biology, physics, you can do that. If you want to study social sciences, like psychology or communications, sociology, you could do that as well. So pretty much whatever you want to study, you're going to be able to start the program in Panama because of what we mentioned before. We have the general education requirements. So that means that there's a number of courses that are going to be the same regardless of the program that you choose. So before we move on, I have another video, and hopefully this time we are going to be able to see it from beginning to end. And let me talk to you about David. David is a former student of us, currently a professor of sports communication. You might know him from, he has a program in Cable Onda Sports. He's a sports journalist. And he graduated with us about, I think, 12 years ago now. So when he had his 10-year anniversary, we were discussing, he said, I would love to go back to U of L and see how things are now. So that's what we did. So he went back, he and his wife, and he did kind of like a short video of his experience. And he interviewed students that were currently there studying to talk to them and explore why they have chosen the university and how the experience was so far. So I'm gonna show you this video. Hopefully, it will be a smooth transition.
Voy a conocer el college del señor Sacada, su alma mater. Bueno, vamos a hacer primero sí, en la escalita en Atlanta y después en Louisville. Así que nos vemos allá.
Vamos para Louisville, una horita más y llegamos a Louisville.
Tenía rato que no venía por acá. Un viaje larguísimo, también se me olvidó lo largo que es. Fue la mejor parte de la llegada. De la forma como te recibe. Stanley Ford Field.
Para entender, es una ciudad que tienes de todo, pero está dentro del área full universitario.
Tú puedes hacer un semestre en Panamá para empezar, mientras te preparas para venir para acá y te vas y ya te quedas todo el tiempo acá.
tú mismo planificas tu,
Puedes hacer 1 más 3.
tu carrera.
Tú puedes hacer 1 año en Panamá y 3 acá. Tú puedes hacer 3 años en Panamá, 1 acá. Tú puedes hacer 2 allá, 2 acá. Puedes hacer lo que tú quieras.
Es fácil como de adaptarse, ¿no?
Sí, está todo cerca.
Primero que todo, me interesó bastante el programa deportivo de la universidad. Y al ser Louisville una universidad que está tan dedicada a toda la variedad de los deportes, me emocionó bastante.
Carla,
Elisa y Valerie. Province, se llama Province, súper pretty, súper chévere, un lugar súper tranquilo, un lugar súper pacífico.
La universidad en sí me parece una estructura completamente diferente a las que hay en Panamá. Siento que es una experiencia inolvidable. La arquitectura de la universidad es muy bonita. Me gustó muchísimo el hecho de que las personas aquí se vuelven parte de tu familia. No son como, es que mi compañero en la universidad. No, eso no se ve. Aquí es como que mi hermano o mi hermana, por así decirlo.
Y no sé, esta es una buena manera de aprender a adaptarse. Viviendo con una persona de otra cultura, me parece súper bien.
Y bueno, la universidad te da demasiadas oportunidades. Tienes oportunidades desde que empresarios vengan a tus clases, te hablen, te cuenten. Incluso ellos mismos te ofrecen oportunidades de trabajo, internships que puedes hacer como estudiante internacional. El
Centro internacional en el campus te ayuda con lo que tú necesitas. Hay personas de todas partes del mundo que hablan español, inglés, italiano, portugués, todas las lenguas.
Si estás buscando crecer a nivel personal, a nivel profesional y académicamente, lo mejor que te puede pasar es venir a la Universidad de Louisville. Vas a conocer mucha gente muy diferente a ti, que realmente te van a enseñar cosas que no aprenderías en ningún otro lugar. Realmente esto es algo que te cambia la vida y es algo que no lo vas a olvidar.
Okay, so that was David Sakata and Maciel Mas, and all of our students that a lot of them, I think, already graduated, right, Katicha? A couple of them already did. And
most of them are graduating.
Yes, and some of them are graduating, are virtually graduating this semester because that's the world now. Apart from transferring for the entire 2 years, like David said in the video, you can pretty much choose, and I always tell my students that you can choose, put the numbers whichever way you want. You want to do a 2 + 2, that's fine. You want to do a 3 + 1, that's fine. You want to do a semester there, that's fine. And this is one of the best experiences that we have in our university, and it's the ability for you to just go for 1 semester. And that program, it's called exchange program. And you can choose to go to University of Louisville, or you can go to Illinois State University and do 1 semester. What is the advantage? Instead of paying U of L or paying ISU, you will pay the same amount of money in tuition that you pay in Panama, which is always less than what you would pay in main campus. Why? Because tuition is it's a number that comes after calculating a lot of services that are offered by the state or the city. So because we don't have to pay the fire department or the police department and a bunch of other fees that we have, we are able to charge less money in Panama for the same courses that you can study in the United States. So if you want to stay in Panama the majority of your time and obtain a U.S. degree, but you also want that experience of living abroad and knowing what it's like to be on your own for at least a semester, you're going to be able to do that, and it's actually financially feasible to do it. I don't know, Nicolas, if there's questions. I see
Yes, actually, we have one question that somebody asked Karina. In Spanish, it says, gracias, ¿cómo funciona el summer si me gradúo a finales de mayo? Thanks, how summer works if I graduate in late May?
Okay, so I'm gonna do this in Spanglish. If you graduate at the end of May, si te gradúas al final de mayo, our summer semester, it's kind of different. And I'm glad you asked that question because I was forgetting about that. By contract, there's a number of professors that have to be the same professors that teach in the US. All of the professors have to have the same quality. I mean, they have to have the same requirements in order to teach. They can be, for example, I teach one of the courses for ISU, and I had to go and send all my documents, and the chair of the marketing department had to approve me to teach that course. So every single professor has to go through the same requirements. But there are a number of professors that are the same as if you were in the States. Those professors usually come during our summer. And I say summer because it's the month where it's most, it rains the most in Panama. It's May, June, July, and August. Instead of doing a whole semester, like we will do spring, which starts in January, or like we would do in the fall, that starts in September, we do intensive courses. So you will have one course at a time. So that means that even if you graduate in May, if you want to join the university in June or July or August, there are going to be courses that you can register there. So as long as you are admitted 2 weeks prior to the beginning of the course, you're going to be able to start the program in the summer if you want. If you want to wait until the fall, that's okay with us as well. What we do is we work with our advisors to make sure that you get up to date with those who started the program, let's say in January. I don't know if that answers your question. I think the question was made by Karina, so I'm guessing someone asked Karina that. So, okay. So can you finish a program in Panama? Yes, you can. There are 2 programs that you can finish in Panama. The first one is a Bachelor of International Business, and that's an academic collaboration with the Illinois State University. So what you do and how it works, remember that I mentioned that at the beginning everybody's admitted at University of Louisville, so that's how it works. The first 2 years, you'll be a University of Louisville and a Quality Leadership University student. When those first 2 years are done, then you make the decisions. Do I want to stay in Panama or do I want to leave? If you want to stay in Panama, the programs that you can complete here and still get a US degree are International Business and a Bachelor of Arts in Communications. We are very honored to have Professor Al Futrell with us today. Al, you can say hi so people will know who you are. It's the one that kind of looked like a gringo, kind of. And he has a UFL thing. So he's gonna talk to us a little bit about the communication program, but let me go through the business program first. So what can I do with a degree in international business? And the way the programs work in the US is that the school, it's the one that will give you the degree. So if you graduate from a program within the business school, your degree, it's going to be a business degree. So within business, you can choose, let's say, marketing, finance, human resources, economics, entrepreneurship, computer information systems, etc. on international business. The reason we chose international business was because it's the program that adapts the most to the type of business we have. Okay? So it adapts the most to the type of business we do in Panama. So it covers a little bit of everything, But with Panama having so many multinational,
I think she lost her connection again. Just let's give her a moment, and in any case,
I think someone has the,
okay.
yes, thank you. Okay, so what can you do with a business, with a degree in international business? Well, you can be a business owner. You can be an international business consultant, international relations manager, operation manager, production, marketing manager, human resources, international sales executive, multinational company executive, and more. The way our program is built, you start with the general education requirements, and you do that at the same time as you're doing your pre-business requirements. So your pre-business requirements would be accounting, financial accounting, managerial accounting, microeconomics, macroeconomics, statistics, calculus, what else, Katicha? Legal environment of business, the computer class. I think I'm almost done with it. Yes. So you can do all of those courses, and then you are going to get admitted to the business school, because it's not the same to be admitted to the school, to the university, than to the program that you want to study. So once you have those courses, you get admitted to the business school, and then you start taking another type of courses that are the 3rd and 4-year courses. This is a sample of the courses that you will take in international business. So you have all the principles being principles of management, principles of marketing, business finance, market research, etc. And I think it's really important here to stop a little bit and talk about the difference between the US system and the Panamanian system. I know the Panamanian system because I graduated from the Panamanian system. My undergraduate degree is from a local university. And I remember that from day one, I started taking courses such as principles of marketing, but then I had to take a lot of those courses. The reason that happens is because we are required to teach double the hours that any other Panamanian university has to teach. We are required to teach at least 40 hours per course, where in Panama, it's less than that, a lot less than that, which means that what you cover in a course, let's say called financial accounting, it's usually the equivalent of 2 courses in a local university. So that's one difference. And the other difference is, for example, I teach marketing. So marketing, it's a course that you need to know about macroeconomics and microeconomics, and you need to know about statistics, and you need to know about other areas before you go to marketing, because otherwise the professor will have to spend a lot of time teaching those basic concepts. In our university, in order to get to the principles, you have to have all the bases. So you can fully understand the concepts that are being covered and be able to apply them as we do. So you get the principles, which are principles of management, principles of marketing, finance, and then you get the other courses. You get the business courses such as market research or consumer behavior, but you also get the international business courses such as business in a multicultural environment, professional relationship selling, international management, international law, international marketing, organizational strategy. Those are the types of courses that you will do in order to complete your program. This is I just want to make sure that everybody understands that I'm not saying these are all the courses. There's about, in order to graduate, you usually take about 40 courses. It's 120 hours. And the other program that we offer is a Bachelor of Arts in Communications. In communication, he's gonna correct me very, very soon for including that S there. And that is in academic collaboration with the University of Louisville. So I'm gonna let Professor Futrell to talk to you a little bit about the program that we have, the program and what we do here in Panama and the options our students have. So Al?
Okay, I'm not sure what I need to say, but I will say that one of the things that's exciting about the program is that it enables you to get a degree in communication from the University of Louisville and never leave Panama. So in that regard, it gives you another opportunity to get a degree from a U.S. institution that you might not normally be able to do. You can get a business degree from Illinois State, but if you want to get anything else in arts and sciences, you have to get a communication degree. We also have humanities and sociology minors that you can also do in addition to the major in communication. I think the question that most people always want to know, though, is if you get a degree in communication, what can I do with it? It's a good question. And it's actually, there's a wide variety of things that you can do, whether you're in the United States or in Panama. Probably the most important, the most popular, I should say, thing that people in the United States do with a degree in communications, they go into public relations. They go into public relations or advertising, or they go into human resource management. They go into, in our case, health communication fields. Sometimes people become journalists. Sometimes they, they go into sales is another very popular thing. There's actually, when you look at some of the things you can do with with a business degree, you can do a lot of the same things with a communication degree. The difference is that you have been given more training or more education and relating to other people and interacting with people. But some of the things that we do very similar to what you do in the business program. One of the things that we like to have the students do is to do an internship, which then gives you the opportunity to work in a real environment, a real business environment, or a health environment, or depending on whatever it is that you're interested in. It's a way that a lot of times these positions turn into jobs. We have a wide variety of courses, and you can, in Panama, we don't have as many opportunities in terms of the number of courses we do in Louisville. But even what you can do if you want, though, is you can always go to Louisville for a semester or two and then come back and finish in Panama. The great thing about this program is that because the courses are exactly the same in Louisville as they are in Panama, you're going to get the exact same degree no matter where you take the courses. It's just that we have a few more courses in Louisville. So if you want to go to Louisville for a semester or two, you can do that, but you don't have to go for the full 2 years. You can stay in Panama. And we offer the courses. I don't know if she's mentioned this or not, but we offer the courses in a variety of ways. Typically, the professors from U of L come down to Panama to teach the courses. And so you get the same instructors in the courses here in Panama as you do in the United States. I'm not sure, Maria, is there something else that I should?
I included a slide on the communications courses that they get here. I think it's really important for you guys to know that in Panama, when you study communication, it's all usually limited to mass communication. So if you're gonna go and study communication anywhere else in Panama, it's going to be a variation of mass communication, meaning advertising. So you kind of have to choose. In our program, it's more a combination of all the areas that communication has. So our students take courses such as arguments in everyday life, which it's great because first of all, it's really fun because you kind of argument with everyone, and you pretty much analyze all the types of arguments that you can have. It, like, let's say in your family or in a business situation, and when you are negotiating with someone, etc. So that's a really interesting class. And we are the only, I don't know, Al, if you know this, but we are the only university in Panama that offers a class in sports communication. So, and it's really, that's a really cool class because it's, we have two professors, Professor David Zacata and Professor Alex da Silva, both journalists, very important journalists in Panama. And the way they do the class, it's kind of like those ESPN shows when they start debating about everything. So, and they go through all the parts of communicating sports, not just the broadcasting or the journalism part, but also how you communicate the brand, how you communicate all the important messages that the PR, for example, of a team or association. So that's really interesting. Can you talk to us about what you do in intercultural communications?
Yeah, as you were talking, it did occur to me that when she said that in most places you have to get a degree in mass communication, that's often true in the United States as well. One of the things where our department is different is that we actually have interpersonal communication, organizational communication, rhetorical communication, intercultural communication. We also do web communication. We also teach courses in video communication. So we cover quite a bit of area in the communication field. It's not limited like it is in a lot of places. Well, in intercultural communication, obviously this is something that makes sense in a context of teaching in Panama versus the United States, because we do have some cultural differences. The intercultural communication class is really one where we try to focus on some of the differences that you're going to run into in an everyday interaction because of the different cultures that people bring to the interactions. One of the things that distinguishes this particular course is that we often teach this course by bringing students from the United States to Panama. We'll bring anywhere from 10 to 20 students that will come down to Panama and take the course at QLU and along with the Panamanian students. In other words, you would all be in the same section, you'd be in the same course. And that makes it truly an intercultural course. And then we have readings and we do this, we study it, but we have interaction constantly with somebody from a different culture. And that makes it unique in terms of how we do the course. That is the one course that I would say is different when we teach it in Panama than when we teach it in the United States, because in the United States, we don't have a bunch of Panamanian students in the course. When we teach it in Panama, we actually make it an intercultural course, and it's one of the best courses that we probably have. Of course, I say that because I teach it, but it's one of my favorite courses to teach. I'll put it that way. But anyway, and I noticed she's got a list there on the screen of some of the other things that we do. The strategic communication campaigns, the person who teaches that course, for example, she's got a PhD in public health. And as you all are aware right now, this is a really important issue with the virus. And she is, public health is a field in the academy that focuses on the kind of things that we're talking about. With how do we have campaigns to tell people about public health issues, and now we have campaigns on how to tell people to stay inside and not do things that they shouldn't do. And so, but that is in our view, that this whole thing with the virus is a big part of this is a communication campaign, telling people how to do these things. And that's one of the kinds of things that you study in that particular course. That's part of the general sort of public relations and advertising sequence. We call it strategic communication, because what we're trying to do there is teach you how to strategize before you start making your messages. And it's, again, that's the most popular area. It's a very popular area for people that, even if you want to go into business or if you want to go into some other kind of field, having strategic communication skills is very important.
Thank you. Yes, this is definitely one of my favorite programs because, well, first of all, because I have a son who's going to graduate from this program, and I have been I have had the privilege of having a first-hand experience of everything that he's been doing. One of the things that was asked here was about the licencia de periodista. And I'm gonna switch to Spanish because I'm gonna get really technical in order to answer this question. So realmente la licencia no es de periodista, es de locutor. El periodismo no está en Panamá, no está con idoneidad. O sea, las personas pueden ser periodistas sin tener una licencia para ser periodista, ni tener un título para ser periodista. Eso dicho, la licencia de locutor, que lo que te permite es mencionar marcas en la televisión y en la radio. Por ejemplo, cuando las personas dicen, y aquí viene Kevin Wireless con la nueva oferta. Bueno, para poder decir eso, tú tienes que tener una licencia de locutor, y la licencia de locutor sí está limitada a panameños, lo que I don't agree, pero bueno, así es la ley, está limitada a panameños. Para eso se toma un curso aparte, es un diplomado, no es una licenciatura, no es una maestría, no es un posgrado, es un diplomado que creo que creo que es como 1 mes, 2 meses en los que los estudiantes van a ir, depende de la universidad. Nosotros personalmente no lo ofrecemos, sin embargo, sí puedes utilizar. Okay, thank you. So I can explain in English. That's fine. I was just, it was easier for me to do it in Spanish because it was very technical, but I'll switch to English. Some of the courses that we teach, you can use it, but in all honesty, it's easier if you take the diplomado and then go to the ACEP, which is the one, and just go with the letter and just fill out the form, pay the money, and then you get your licencia de locutor. But yes, it's something that we can definitely advise you on how to do. It's not integrated in any undergraduate program, but it's something we can help you get, because we have a lot of students. My son actually did it when he was right out of high school. Okay, so let me just, Al was talking about Professor Futrell, how disrespectful of me. Professor Futrell was just talking about the internships. And I think it's really important for you guys to know that our programs, all of our programs, offer an internships opportunity. You can do them for a grade, but you can also do it for the experience. So what we do is we have twice a year, we have a job fair. One is dedicated to internships. So it's for all of our students. They go, and we have companies from all over Panama. A lot of multinational companies are interested in our students because they speak English. So that is definitely an advantage. So we have people from Philips. There's a lot of our students going to Philips, Nestle, and Adidas, Nike. All of these companies are recruiting our students to work with them. So you can do that for the you have to do it for the International Business Program. That is a graduation requirement to get an internship. And you have the option to do it as well for the communication program. So that's very, very interesting, because at the end of the day, you're not only graduating with a degree with the US, from the US, but you're also graduating with professional experience. And a lot, like I was just talking last week with, we had a similar session, and from Philips, since we started providing interns, there's only one occasion that Philips didn't hire the student to stay with them. So it's a really good testament to how good our students are, because companies want them. So the other option that you have is to complete 2 minors in Panama. So I think I need to take this opportunity to explain what a minor is. So when you go to a local university, and I'm sure you have done your research, you have this very complex programs. For example, I graduated with from Universidad del Istmo, and I graduated with a bachelor's of business administration with an emphasis in marketing and advertising. So it's almost as long as my name. It was a very, very crowded diploma, the one that I had. In Panama, you usually choose one route, and that's the one you go and you take all the courses that you have to take, and then you, at the end of the day, you're gonna have a degree like that. In the States, it doesn't work like that. You can mix it up whichever way you want. You can do a major, which is a bachelor's degree, what you recognize as a licenciatura, but you can also have emphasis, and the emphasis are called minors, but they don't have to be in the same area that you are graduating. For example, if you're graduating from an engineering, but you want to buy a minor in business, you can do that. If you're graduating from business, but you want a minor in Italian, you can do that. Or psychology, you can do that. It's usually about 21 credits. So it's a couple of courses. It's not an entire program that you take in addition to the courses that it's within your degree. However, in Panama, we are offering two programs, two options of a minor. I already said what a minor was. We have a sociology minor and a humanities minor. And you can choose whichever. And the difference between us and what you would do normally, it's that the communication program has a group of courses that you need to choose that are social science electives. So you kind of have to choose a variety of courses that are classified as social sciences. And you also have a group of courses that are just electives. So you can choose whatever you want. So you can graduate from communication taking the same amount of courses, not even one extra course, and obtain a minor in sociology or a minor in humanities. And you can do that entirely here in Panama. So what you do with minors? Why sociology? What humanities? What can you learn from a course called, let's say, Intro to Film? And I love this because, like I said, my son actually took this course. And I was very interested because I thought he was just gonna watch movies and that's it. But it turns out that through movies, you are learning about critical thinking, about problem solving, about analyzing different situations and coming up with different solutions for a problem. And you do that in a way that is very entertaining because you're doing it through film. We also have in sociology, one of our most popular courses during the summer, it's criminology. And it's very interesting. We have a guy, a professor that is coming he's gonna teach this year. And he either worked for the CIA or the FBI, but I know it's one of those. And I think that's just so interesting to be able to take a course like this, that it's going to help me to graduate. So it's not like I'm taking the courses just for fun, but they're also fun. And I'm learning competencies that are required by our employees today. And this is something really important you need to take into consideration. When you are going to get a job, it's not just about the technical part of your degree. Like if you are an engineer and you are, let's say, a computer engineer, of course, you need to know how to program and do all the things. That's the technical part of the degree. But you also have to have some competences that are required in the job market. For example, you need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to work in teams. You need to be able to show leadership. You need to be able to think critically, etc. And this is something that it's really hard to teach once you are already working in a company. So employers are actively looking for employees that have this kind of competences. And by studying this in these areas, you are going to get better at it. I know I have some questions, Nicolas, I don't know if you wanna.
Yes, I have a question here by Eileen. She says, in my 2 years in Panama, it is required to take general education, pre-business, and pre-engineering courses, or it just depends on the career that I choose?
It depends on the career. So if you're going to go to business, you're going to do business, but you don't have to do engineering. Oh, God, no. You don't have to do physics or calculus or anything like that. If you want to do engineering and you don't want to do accounting and all those courses, you don't have to. At the end of the day, if you're in the 2 years, we are going to help you to keep a clear track. And this is really important for us. Advising before registering is mandatory. And it is mandatory because we want to make sure that you are taking the courses that you need and nothing more, because we understand that this is an investment that you're doing in what we do, because each and every one of our students have a different plan. We cannot say that we have a group of students that want to go to business and that's it. No, usually the first year, they don't know. We don't know. They have an idea. We help them to transform that idea to a reality, but a lot of our students are just not sure what they want, or they change their mind. So what we do is we make the advising mandatory in order to keep track of what they're doing and what are the plans, and make sure that we are planning the courses the way we need to plan, so everybody has courses to take, etc. So no, it's not mandatory unless you want to. I haven't had anyone in 18 years of working here, I've never had a student that says, I want to take physics as my science if they're not in engineering, but you can do it if you want to. Okay, let's move on. You can also do a double major. And what is a double major? Well, it's 2 programs, 2 degrees, 2 diplomas. So the way it works, and we do have not a lot, but we do have some students that decide that they want to do international business and they want to do communications as well. The wonders of communication, the program in communication, is that they do have the social science electives that I mentioned before when we were talking about the minors, and business is social sciences. So what means is that all the courses that you take in the business program will eventually count as something in the communication program. So what you need to take because you already take principles of communication, which is a course that both programs share, you will end up taking 36 hours more, which is about 12 courses, and you will have a second degree. I think we're the only university in the world that can say this, that you can actually obtain 2 degrees from 2 different universities studying in the same place and basically within the same time frame. We do make sure, and again, we come back to the advising, we make sure that you maintain a balance, that there's a limit of number of courses that you can take, but it's definitely doable. And a lot of our students, I think last year we had about 8 students, Katicha, correct me if I'm wrong, but we had about 8 students that walked twice in the graduation. Once they got the business degree, and then they got the communication degree. So that's definitely an option that you will be able to have if you stay here in Panama. If you move to U of L, or you move to ISU, or you go to USF, you are going to be able to do a double major as well. The only difference is that it's going to be from the same university. Here you have that extra thing that you get 2 different diplomas. Okay, what happens if I want to study in Spanish, which is definitely an option. So about, I don't even remember how long ago, I think it was 2010, that we started offering an option to start the program in Spanish. And the way it works is that because we are an accredited Panamanian university, we are allowed to do our programs on our own. And we do have programs, undergraduate programs, and we have graduate programs that we do as QLU with no dual degree or anything like that. So what we were thinking was, there are a lot of students who want to study in Spanish, or that they want to start in Spanish and then move on to the program in English, or they want to start in Spanish, improve their English, and then move to the program in English, or they just want to graduate with a program in Spanish. So what we did was we started the program, and the first option is, like I mentioned, you start in Spanish, then you do 1 year in English, in the program that it's in English, so it's either with the University of Louisville or with ISU, and then you can move to the States. You can do that. Or you can do, I'm trying to move all my screens here so I can read. Okay, so you can do 2 years in Spanish, and then 1.5 years in English, and then graduate with a degree from University of English if you need it. So, Katisha, you're talking, but I'm not hearing you.
No, because you froze.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Oh, I froze? Where did I froze?
This was a couple of seconds, so it's okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna repeat it. The important part is that we give you a scholarship to study English in case you didn't hear that, or if you did, it's good that you listen to it twice. So you get the option to study English for free, and then you can transfer to the program if you want, to the programs that the courses are taught in English. And then the other option is for you to obtain a degree in business administration with an emphasis in international business. And starting next year, we are also going to have the option of finishing a marketing emphasis, not just the international business. So you can do that. And one of the benefits of this program is that you can attend school in both schedules, in the morning and in the evening, if you want. Do I have any questions before we go into the admissions? Am I okay? So we have a special guest today. It's a current student of us, and I'm gonna ask her, I'm just giving her the heads up. I'm gonna ask her to talk a little bit about what she's doing and what are her plans with us. So I'm just giving you the heads ups, Angie, so you can prepare what you're gonna say while we talk about the admissions requirements. So, admissions requirements. You need to be admitted locally, and you need to be admitted at the University of Louisville. So we have to comply with all the requirements. First, the application form. Right now we're doing the application form online, right, Katisha? That's the new thing. Thanks to our current situation, we are being more modern than we used to. So now Katisha and all of your, Christian, Jan, Karina, Hector, they all have, Priscilla, they all have the link for the application form. You need to have your original transcripts. Transcripts are your grades. And you have to have a GPA of 2.5 over 4 or 3.2 over 5, exactly. So some of you haven't graduated yet. Some of you are still in school and will be graduating this summer, or some of you will be graduating this year and planning on starting, hopefully, in January of next year. So what you do is, if you are close to graduation, what we need is the grades from 10th, 11th, and the last grade report that you received, or and if you are currently on your last year of high school, then as soon as you have the grades for your second trimester, then you can send our transcripts, and we can work with those and get a conditional admission that it's conditioned on you getting the diploma. If you're transferring from another university, if you have already started in another university, then and you have more than 8 courses in that university, then you need to present your transcripts with a GPA of 2.0 over 4 or 1.5 over 3. And for those who are not familiar with all this different grade scales, when you're in high school, they grade you over 5. When you are at the university locally, they grade you over 3. And we grade you over 4. So we have an equivalency for everything. Once you have the copy of your diploma, we will need it. And then you have to take the TOEFL. However, the good news are that because of the situation the world is facing, University of Louisville is accepting Duolingo as an alternative to TOEFL just for this year. So if you're thinking about it, do it. Why? Because I did it about a month ago, and it's not that it's easier. The exam, I mean, you do have to prove that you are able to take courses in English and think in English and pretty much perform in English very closely as you would if you were doing the class in Spanish. But the way they ask the questions, it's a lot easier. So it's more modern, I want to say, because they use the technology, and it's cheaper because it only costs $49.99 compared to what an IBT test costs, which is about $200. You could do it online. It took me, the whole thing from registering to actually taking the test took me about an hour and a half. So, and you get the results the next day, the following day. So what we're looking for, it's a score of 105, which is the equivalent of a 79 or an 80 in the IBT TOEFL. In regular circumstances, we offer an institutional TOEFL that it's offered by it's proctored by the same people that does the international TOEFL, and we do that at the university. And we were pretty much having exams every week, I believe, before this happened. But Duolingo is a great option, and if you go there, they have a lot of practice tests that will give you an idea of how you would get, how much you would get. And if you are planning on going to the Spanish program, you do have to take. It's not a location test. It's a test that will tell you how. I'm just gonna let it go. So, Angie, yes, I want you to share what are you doing, what you're studying, what are your plans, and everything that you can, just a couple of minutes. So, I don't know if you have yes, you're on.
All right, so hi, everyone.
Hi.
I am a communications major. I actually had the opportunity last year to participate in, or at least submit an essay to like apply for scholarship to study, and thank God that came through. And I'm enjoying my studies right now in the communications major. So far, each I can see how each subject that I've been taking has been helping me and help applying to the writings that I like to do, how I communicate with other people, how I analyze certain experiences regarding communication. And so far at this point, I'm also looking to pursue a minor in psychology as I am also trying to complete my major. So basically what I want to be able to do when I finish my first degree, I want to move forward to continue some studies, uh, more in the area of psychology because I want to do counseling in psychology, and at the same time use um, what I've learned in communications to uh, like pursue studies in media as well, at least things that have to do with media. I like to be creative. I like to write a lot, and I do also like film and whatnot in this area. So I basically want to apply all the skills and learning from this first degree or my major per se to be able to apply in this area that I'm looking forward to learn about also. The experience has been great so far in the university. Professors both from the US that I've gotten classes with, as well as professors here in Panama, and the staff itself. They're flexible, they're great, they help you out a whole lot. I've personally experienced the help in all the aspects that I've needed help. And they've made my experience studying so far very comfortable. So pretty much that's what I can share, and I'm thankful that I can join the meeting and be able to share this with you guys.
Thank you so much, Angie.
No problem.
And just she's not gonna say it, but she's a really good student. She was a student in my class. So we are gonna show you, we're almost done. We're gonna show you, I know you have some questions. Let me just show this video about our university life. And we are gonna take some time to answer some of the questions that you already have.
1, 2, 3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, gotta find a lot to follow. And if you do, you have a future real bright. And it's a combination of consistency. Come on and say, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh.
We have a few very active undergraduate clubs. You can basically join a club or create a club of whatever you want. We have a performance club. We have the debate club. We have we have the green students, those that are protecting the environment, and we also have a volunteer club, which is very, very active. So just to finish. Both students who graduate from University of Louisville or that graduate from Illinois State University, they have the option to complete the program, to go to the graduation, to the commencement ceremony once they graduate. So they can attend our local graduation, and they can also go to the graduation at main campus. And last year we had 4 students that from our first ever group of students graduating from Illinois State University, and they decided to attend the commencement ceremony in December. It was really, really fun and so cold, but it was really, really fun. And this is a short video, promises the last one, about the experience. And one of the things that we like the most is the fact that the president of the university took the time to mention the students and the partnership with QLU in the middle of the graduation. So here it is.
Today, we're also proud to have some special graduate candidates who have traveled a long way to be here. In partnership with Quality Leadership University in Panama City, Panama, Illinois State offers an undergraduate degree in international business and a master's in business administration. 4 students from the first graduating class of the international business programs are here representing their cohort in that program. And would you mind standing so we could recognize you, the students from Panama? Glad to have you here and your families. The Panama program reflects our commitment to enhancing the global impact of Illinois State University degree and also enhancing and enriching the productive relationship with people from all around the world.
that was pretty exciting. I was there and I couldn't contain my happiness. So to finish, these are the contact information and their phone, so you can WhatsApp them if you have any other question. But Nicolas, I don't know if you're missing a question, or have we been able to answer everything in real time?
Yes, actually, we only have 2 more questions, I believe. One of those are about TOEFL costs. In this case, I think we should probably talk about Duolingos. And the next question is, how can I find out what programs each U.S. university has to offer?
Okay, so about the cost, we offer an institutional TOEFL that you can use to apply to our university, but not all the universities outside U of L are gonna use it, but it's good for us. And that is, I think it's $50. We do one for free, but it's a $50 price. The regular TOEFL usually costs $200, and it takes about 3 weeks to get the results, which is why we use, as many other universities do, an institutional TOEFL, because it's quicker. The Duolingo, it's $1 less expensive, but we are not allowed right now to do TOEFLs because of the situation. And so Duolingo is, right now, it's the best option. And there's a lot of universities doing. I mean, on a side note, it is important for you to know if you are applying to another university in the United States and you are required to take the internet-based TOEFL, they are doing online TOEFLs as well. It's just a much longer exam and a lot more expensive, but it's, if you do it, we'll take it. If you go to FSU and take their institutional TOEFL, we will take it as well. And then the other question was, oh, the program.
Programs on each university.
So I'm gonna ask my my team here to talk to you directly, so they can send you a link with all the courses. There's over 100 majors in each university, which is why we don't include all of them here. But if you go to our website, you're going to be able to see the names of the programs. My advice when considering between programs, don't just stay with the name of the program. Make sure you go and dig a little bit deeper and see the courses that are offered in that program. Because sometimes with the courses, if you actually see the courses that you're gonna take, it gives you a better idea of what is the degree other than the name of the program. So
those are all the questions we have right now. I don't know if somebody else has another question who would like to do.
Well, I wanna thank everyone. You're being great and you have had excellent questions. I know I really don't want to take more time from you. I know that when 6 o'clock is getting closer, everybody's tied to the TV and see what's going on. I hope everybody is doing well and that you're staying healthy, you and your family. And please let us know if you have any questions. We are more than happy to help you through this decision, which we know is not an easy one. But just I want to make sure, just like Angie said, and you can ask any of our students, we are very proud of being able to give one-on-one advising and accompany our students throughout the whole experience. And we're very proud and we're very honored to be able to do that. And I think it's one of the most, it's our favorite part of the job for everyone here, is to be able to share with the students when they are just like you, finding out about what they want until the moment they graduate, which it happens so fast you wouldn't believe. So I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Professor Futrell for joining us today and talking to us about the program. If you decide, or when you decide to join us, I'm sure you're gonna see him around, and hopefully you get to take some classes with him. And thank you to Nicolas and Katisha and everyone else on the team for joining today, and I hope to see you face to face very, very soon. So you can take it from here, Nicolas.
Yes, I think, well, that's all. I'm already saying goodbye too on the chat. In any case you have any questions, please remember you have already our contacts in the screen. You can feel free to contact us whenever you want. And to reminder, we are having summer courses on the entire, summer course or summer period. In this case, you can actually take some courses during May, June, July, and August. So feel free to, register with us, contact us, and we can give you more information on which subjects and courses are going to be taken during this summer or even in the fall too. So thank you again for everybody else. I don't know if somebody has a. Thank you, Angie, by the way. Yeah, thank you for your everything. So it's Josiah's too.
Okay. Well, bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good afternoon. Be safe.